All right. You are doing a little bit of hiring, Shannon, or you
I am.
posted on X at least about something.
Yeah,
Yeah, talk
I
about
am.
it.
So yeah, I'd love to talk about this. So uh, this term global talent is really popular online, at least up on X, hiring, assistants and everything in other countries.
Yep.
Not only do I think initially it was all about saving money, but I think now that's certainly part of it, but it's gone beyond that too, as far as getting qualified applicants to help you out. And
Yeah.
so I'm hiring a person to help me, like a content manager, if you will, not to create content for me, but to help manage I don't have a problem making the content. I have a
Sure.
problem distributing the
Yeah,
content,
that makes
right?
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, the follow through. So I need help, someone that's organized, someone that's familiar with, social. I'd like to have, all the content I create on X, I'd like to have it on LinkedIn as well. But I'm just not super motivated to go put it up there every time. I start and then I stop and I start.
Yeah.
And then
I totally get that.
right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
And, gives me instant gratification. So it motivates me to give feedback and I make great connections there, where LinkedIn's a little more, takes a little bit more time to get feedback, but it's certainly
Yep.
valuable.
It's a
So I wanna
longer
be up there.
response curve. Yeah,
Longer response
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I've got a significant amount of people that have subscribed to my newsletter. And the only problem is I have no newsletter. So I need to, grow that. So anyway, I'm trying to hire this person, did a little bit of research. I've hired, they used to call it offshore talent or virtual assistant, which I think,
I don't like that term.
Yeah.
I
They still
presume
work.
these people I'm hiring, regardless of where they're located, are real people. They're not virtual people. They're just remote.
You got it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So I've done that before, but now there's a number of agencies out there that will, and I guess they've been there for a long time, but I think there's been a bloom of new ones that'll kind of hold your hand, walk you through it, represent how it's going to work. And so I picked this one company called Pavago, and we'll put a link in the show notes. And it was pretty cool. So I walk you through how it worked. They kind of gave me a rundown. It's Pavago, Pavago.co is the thing. And they do an interview with you. What do you want? What do you need? What's your business? What do you hope to achieve? How do you define success? And then they go out and find, people and they interview them. And then what I really liked is I got to watch the interview after, they set it up, had their rep going through the interview, talking to these folks. And then after that, I could pick them out, go through, hey, this is who I want to talk to. This is who I don't. So I picked a couple, did my own interviews. And this is where it got a little tricky, because I had two prospects. One was very experienced, had done this kind of thing before, liked to work autonomously, which is great. All those things that are important.
Yep.
But the second prospect didn't quite have all the experience exactly related to what I'm doing, but seemed a lot more organized. And I think that my gut instinct was that's what I probably need more help with. And so I posted up on X. I said, hey, here's the breakdown, just like I described. Who should I hire? And 99% of the people came up and said, hire prospect number one, because she's got the experience.
I want to add one of the things, because I commented on this post. Yeah. And one of the things that in your post you said about prospect number two was that they self-identified as a workaholic.
Yes.
And to me, that was the big red flag, especially with a, remote assistant, whatever, largely because I've found that many of these people wind up picking up many jobs.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
And that can be...
That would be what you would... Of course you would want many jobs, right? Wouldn't that be...
Right.
Shouldn't I just assume that that's what they're doing?
Well, it depends. Are you hiring them by the hour? Like, are you hiring them full time?
I'm going to pay them a salary, and I'm going to have KPIs. Then they meet certain benchmarks, they can get a bonus.
Yep.
And I get it. And maybe I should have added some nuance when that came up when I said how I'm really focused on outputs. Right. That's we talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
I don't. If they're able to get all the stuff we want done in less time, that's okay. So I think I was mentioning it in some kind of about working autonomously. It's like, look, I want to give you direction. I want you to go, and I want to get these things done on a certain timeline.
Sure.
And that's when they said, oh, well, I like working like that. I'm a bit of a workaholic. I'm going to work and get everything done. And I could see how that's a red flag. So I listened to all the comments up there, and the consensus was overwhelmingly
hire somebody with the skills. Yeah.
Yeah. But so I talk about my gut instinct all the time. So, and I went against the consensus. I hired number 2 today.
Got it.
We'll have to see how it works. Cause I
of course.
Yeah. And I'll keep it, I'll keep everyone posted here because I made that choice because I just think I need somebody that's more administratively strong than creatively strong. And I'm hoping that person keeps me on task more.
My only hesitation is that there are tricks, skills, whatever you want to call them, to the social media game. And if somebody doesn't have that, that might be a pretty big hill for them to climb.
And one of the great things I love, like working with this agency Pavago, is I'm paying a subscription, and anytime I want to swap this person out, if it doesn't work out, I can do it. Now, the question I have is, how do I keep number 2? Ideally, I'd hire them both. I'd hire this organized person to be. I love this term that's thrown around a lot. My chief of staff. That's the sure. I love seeing that out there. So then the creative person down below. But I can't do that right now. It's too much for me. Like
it's too much.
Yeah. So I'm going to reach out to this prospect number 2 and hey, look, that I'm going to go with this route.
What hours are they going to like? Where are they located?
Pakistan. They work my hours.
I was going to say, well, they work your hours. Yeah. Okay.
For the stuff that we need to. I'm flexible. Like if you're just organizing and building things, it's okay with me. You don't have to be doing it when I'm there, but
I'm curious how this works out because I've done a lot of this.
Yeah, I've done a few,
and
times
I have found for contract type work, the offshore stuff has been great. Right?
Yeah.
When hiring full time, there's a reason I use LinkedIn to hire Sadie because
that's right.
we had people like her with a different business that I have that we had used a service like you're discussing here. And it was a freaking nightmare managing these people.
I think it can be.
So, and we'd had a couple of them and it was like, all right. So when it came time to hire Sadie, it was like, well, I'm going with LinkedIn jobs. Yeah. I want to hire somebody that's here in the United States that understands how to communicate because they're going to be doing communication on your behalf. And so that's living in the culture, I have found it's a really, I mean, I'm curious to see how this goes.
Me too. That's why I'm bringing it up because I love building in public, and we'll see how it turns out, whether I made the right choice or not. Mm-hmm. But if I've had it work out really well, but in the past, and I've had it be disastrous from a standpoint of it is tougher to get the someone who's not in the here in our culture, get them to understand the business processes and the whys behind it. They're often phenomenal at the tactics,
whatever the skill is. Yes,
the tactic, getting that done. But from a strategy point, no. So I'm hoping I haven't hired anybody like this in probably about 10 years. So I'm hoping that it's different. And this person is very highly educated and super intelligent. So we'll just have to see whether Because like I said, I have no problem creating the content. That's what I do all day. I'm writing, I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, but every platform needs a different voice. Every platform,
Nuance.
like it's the nuance. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
nuance.